Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sport. For today's Autumn Nation Series Round 2 Team of the Week. And it's been a while since I've done Team of the Week, and I really enjoyed doing them. It's just, the first Autumn Nations weekend was just absolutely chaos. And there was so much going on. There were so many different things that we were trying to sort of get right and stuff like that. I didn't really get time to manage to sort of get to my Team of the Week. However, this weekend, another cracking weekend of fixtures. And a weekend for the Northern Hemisphere, with just New Zealand being the only side from the Southern Hemisphere to actually go get a victory across all the various fixtures. But before we look at my Team of the Week, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. It is going to be a little bit controversial because there are no French players in it. There are no Argentinian players, no Japanese players, no Fijian players, no Australian players. So of the 12 teams that did play this weekend, 5 are not represented in my Team of the Week, which could be quite controversial, but I'm going to explain my decisions. And this is just my Team of the Week. I wonder what you guys think. I want to put your Team of the Week in, and let's discuss it. Let's sort of see where we differ, where we agree, and where we maybe could have put in an Argentinian player, where we could have put in a French player, for example. I thought for the France, generally, I think there were a couple of standouts, but I thought generally as a team, they were just pretty solid throughout the match. At certain sort of places, I thought the pack was a bit subpar, and the backline then didn't really get going because of that. Also, South Africa didn't really get that much opportunity to the backline to get going. But I don't want to break that game too much down. Let's go to the Team of the Week. Without any further ado, this is what I have picked. So as you can see there, I've got, I think, 3 Wales players, and I've got 2 English players. I've got 2 New Zealand players, and then we've got 3 South African players. I've got 2 Italians, I've got 1 Irish player, I've got 2 Scots. What else do I have? I think that's pretty much it. So let's start with the front row. Lucien Erskine, I think it was a pretty easy decision. He absolutely bullied Japan, both on defense, on attack. He scored a try. I could have put the entire England front row, to be honest, because they just decimated Japan's scrum. It was very much one-way traffic, and they kind of expected to dominate the scrum, but I think Erskine just quickly turning into probably the form Lucien in the world right now. And on the other side, I went with Dylan Lewis, who I thought 75 minutes against Argentina, a very big shift needed from him. He got through a lot of work. I think he made about 9 tackles across the game, made a couple of carries, very solid at the scrums. I thought it was a very impressive outing for the tight head. And I didn't think it was really the weekend of the tight heads. Each sort of review, I was going there looking and trying to think of sort of tight heads throughout all the matches that really sort of stood out to me, and there weren't too many. So Dylan Lewis, when he gets in there. And then in between the two of them, Jean-Marco Lucchesi, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Just in every aspect, was fantastic at the line out, solid at the scrum, brilliant in defense, lethal in attack. His work rate was unbelievable. One of the main reasons I felt that Australia got that result. I thought it was absolutely tremendous. I thought it was a performance for the ages, honestly. One of the best performances. He could very well be sort of the player of the week as far as I'm concerned in this 15. Second row, I've gone with Ebenezer and Sam Whitelock. Whilst they both did play with number 4 on the back, I had to include them both. I had to. Ebenezer bet for me in the conversation for World Player of the Year. He has just been absolutely talismanic for the Boks throughout this year. Another huge performance against France. And I think people sort of quite argue if there's the first person on the second team is has to be Ebenezer. Another huge performance for him, and Sam Whitelock as well. I thought New Zealand were poor quite a lot of the time, and for about a half an hour period, I thought they were really poor. But I thought Sam Whitelock was very good. I think he had about 2 breakdown steals, which is not often that you see Sam Whitelock getting that sort of job done. But he came in clutch quite a few times. Very good at the lineouts. Got through a lot of work. Shout out to Niccolo Canoni, for example, from Italy. I thought that he had a nice game as well. For me, I've gone with Ebenezer Bet. I thought he was very impressive. Whitelock, I thought they were very impressive. The loose trio. Now, this is probably where I probably would have put something for it. I thought that Charles Oliphant, for example, was very good for France. I thought Anthony Gallant was pretty solid, apart from being sat down on Chesney Colby. But so, Charles Oliphant's probably the person I actually had in there. And then I ammed and I ahed and I ammed and I ahed. And I went with Sia Khaleesi instead. And maybe it's probably local bias. And you know what? I don't care if it is local bias. I just thought that Sia Khaleesi, after going to a man down, was terrific. Absolutely terrific. The work rate, the way he led the team, the way he led the charge for South Africa was heroic. It's the only way you can really describe it. He was absolutely superb. Got through so much work. Scored a try as well. Romain Intermax still doesn't know what's going on in that try. I thought it was fantastic. Nick Timoney as well for Ireland. What I think Andy Farrell described as a terrible performance. I thought Nick Timoney really put his hand up, scored 2 tries against Fiji. He's a nice player. I really enjoy watching him, and good to see him getting an opportunity. There are a lot of loose forwards who could be playing for Ireland. And I think he was one of the few players who really sort of put his hand up and took his chance. Talapa Faletau, I mean, what a player! Honestly, one of the there's a lot of people on Twitter saying he's one of the best number 8s of all time. People aren't agreeing. I do think he starts to fall into that category. He's just an incredible athlete. Very soft-spoken off the field, but on the field, he's an absolute menace. On attack, on defense, he just gets through so much work, and he's got such a good skill set, and he was very important to Wales. The halfback pairing I've got, and what a halfback pairing this would be. Factor Clerk, I thought, was standout 9 by a country mile. I thought that he completely nullified. He outplayed Anton Dupont, current World Player of the Year. And he was everything that was good about South Africa. I thought that he really embodied. I thought he was good in defense. I thought he really got the South African attack going. Kicked very well off the tee, for example. And I put him next to Finn Russell. And Finn Russell back into the Scottish side, very impressive. Didn't miss a trick off the tee. I think he had one bad moment, which he actually saved himself quite well. But I thought that he very much was the general. I thought that he got through a lot of work. He was quite intelligent. He kicked pretty well. Got his back line moving, even got it forwards on the right foot, and I thought that he was a big part of the sort of the Scottish momentum that they had. The rest of the back line, Joe van der Merwe got through a lot of work. I think he must have beaten about 4 or 5 defenders. Very impressive performance. A bit of a quiet first half, but second half he was everywhere, and he was bouncing off players, was looking for work, was pretty physical in defence as well. And on the other wing, I've gone with its opposite, Mark Tellier. So it's interesting that the two players were opposite each other. I have put in my team of the week. Mark Tellier, 2 tries on debut. A couple of other players, Ches and Colby could probably have been in the side as well. There were some very impressive wing performances this weekend. But I thought that Mark Tellier on debut, 2 tries, for example, just looked... And on debut, for me, probably the reason is he looked so calm. He looked so at ease. For me, he completely outplayed Caleb Clark. And looked the part there. And then in the centres, I've got Owen Farrell and George North. Owen Farrell has stiff competition from Damon Delindi, for example, I thought was one of the box best performers. Elsewhere, I thought that Tupolotu had a very good game for Scotland. I was very impressed with what I saw from him. But I've gone with Owen Farrell because I thought that Marcus Smith, Owen Farrell actions really did work, but Farrell was class, absolute class this weekend. He kicked brilliantly off the tee, marshaled his team very well, led his team very well, made intelligent decisions as captain, and was just very good. Made his tackles, ran pretty well as well. His kicking game was just generally pretty good. And then George North, while the transition to 13 is complete, he looked a genuine 13. Huge hits on attack, really taking the ball to the advantage line, getting over the advantage line. Defensively, has a physical presence. You can understand why PPAC sees him as the 13 for the World Cup, and I think that he will do very well there. And then last but not least, Ange Capuzzo, what an incredible game from the Italian youngster. 23 years old. He's had some huge clutch moments for Italy. This could potentially be his best. 2 tries against Australia. He just didn't do anything wrong. He didn't miss a tackle. He missed defenders. He had clean breaks. He was absolutely tremendous and one of the standout performers. And again, you speak about Lechesis, for example, one of the performers of the ages. I think that performance puts her as well, very much in that sort of bracket. So that's my team of the week, 1 through to 15. And I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. As I said, no French players, which is a little bit controversial. Charles Olivan probably could have looked very at home in the side. I just went with Sir Khaleesi because, I just thought he was tremendous. But let me know where else players you would have found. Who else was unlucky? There were a lot of unlucky players to miss out. There really were. I think if you look at the fullback performances, Willy Leroux had a fantastic performance for the Box. I thought Thomas Ramos was pretty decent for France. Geordie Barrett on attack, for example, was just sitting down Scottish players left, right, and centre. Stuart Hogg was also heroic. Freddie Stewart got a man of the match. It was the weekend of fullback, so it was so difficult to choose exactly who. Louis Zaman looked pretty good as well for Wales at fullback, but I could only choose one fullback, so I did go with Ange Capuzzo. So I want to know what you guys think of this team down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.